welcome back to What is Wrong with Deafgirl Gaming, the series. This is episode 2. In this episode, I'm going to go over a few of the surgeries that I've had, which I've had multiple. So we will discuss it. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And yeah, let's get into it. In this portion, we're going to talk about the mastoidectomy. What it is, what it's supposed to do, and how it affects me in general. A mastoidectomy removes the mastoid and portions of the bone and any growth that may be happening within the mastoid cavity. The mastoid bone is basically a very light and airy bone that's filled with a lot of air cells. And it can get infected. And it's very bad if it gets infected. That it can cause hearing loss. It can spread to other portions of the bone. It can spread into your brain. Cause sepsis and things like that. My uncle passed away over a year ago to basically the same thing, but he had sepsis from it. But now, during the surgery, they go in, they remove the mastoid that's infected, any bones that are infected, they scrape it out, and it leaves your ear with a giant hole, basically, that has to be covered with skin. You basically end up with something like this. A lot of times, they don't remove this portion of the bone. But all of mine is gone. I have no bone. I just have a big giant cavity. In future videos, I will show videos of inside my ear and what it looks like. It's very gross, so it's going to be very graphic. It will not be in this video, but it will be in future videos. But, as I was saying, as I've had numerous of these type of surgeries. And I've lost a huge portion of the skull to the infections, as well as the mastoid. I get continuous pain in that area where the bone used to be. It affects what is called my TMJ. That is affected. That I get lockjaw. My jaw will dislocate. It doesn't have as much, what do you call it, bone structure, because it's been affected by the infections and the surgeries and all of that. So I don't know exactly how many of these surgeries I've had. I've lost count, but in my life I've had over 20 different types of surgeries. Some of them were not ear related, but it was related to a portion of my disease, which will be covered as well in future videos. We will go on to the next type of surgery that was performed in the next segment. So this is a discussion about the type of reconstructive surgeries that they've attempted. Basically where they try to replace the bones and the eardrum. I can't pronounce all of these, but there's 3 types of bones in the ear that connect to the cochlear ear area. But basically, they put a bone, a fake bone, going from the eardrum into a graft into the back of the ear. Basically just foregoing all of the other bones that are there. As I said, my body completely rejected these and destroyed it and basically spit it all back out. So I had to have another reconstructive surgery where they tried it again and my body rejected it again. At which point they just removed everything, cleaned my ear back up, and just left it as it was. Where they would attempt again in the future and with the same results. Another type of surgery that I have had is called a cholesteoma. What it basically is when your eardrum produces a lot of cells, it basically creates an abnormal growth and it forms behind the eardrum and it can and does affect the bone growth. As it says here, cholesteoma can damage bone that is near if not treated, causing dizziness, facial nerve damage, deafness, infection, and abscess formation. I've had numerous polyps in my ears. I am constantly dizzy. I have vertigo pretty bad. The nerves in my jaw are damaged that they cannot be numbed properly. So any surgeries that I have, I either have to be put under, like any mouth work, I have to be put under or just deal with the pain. We'll get into that topic of the effects of anesthesia and things like that in a future video. So I've had this surgery performed where they removed all of this and they I didn't have an eardrum left. It was completely destroyed. And they've attempted to reconstruct it a few times. And each time my body has rejected everything done, including destroying the attempt at the eardrum. So I have no eardrum at all. This right here was also destroyed. So I have basically a hole in my ear that goes into my inner ear. This bone right here was damaged and I no longer have it. It's a huge cavity here as well. And any attempts to repair this bone was rejected. My body destroyed it. And oh, I forgot to mention there was a graphic warning here, so I will put up a graphic warning. But this is the inside of an ear with a polyp inside of it, which is what basically my ear looked like. It's not a picture of my ear, but this is basically what my ear looked like. And that was when they started me on a different type of antibiotic that actually removed the polyp, so I didn't have to have another surgery immediately after the one that I had just had. And this is a CAT scan showing the cholesteoma. That's a word I have a hard time. Cholesteoma. We are going to get on to the next surgery in the next segment. Another surgery that I've had prior to the reconstructive surgeries and all that, whenever I still had eardrums, they attempted to place tubes in my ears, which is typical for severe ear infections. But unfortunately, the tubes constantly fell out of my ears. They did not stay. They did not drain the infection away as it should, which is part of what led to a lot of the issues I have with my ears now, is they could not get the infections under control. The tubes would not stay. For some reason, my body just could not handle having artificial items placed in my body. I don't know that it was an allergy to the material, but I do have a metal allergy. I have reactions to a lot of different metals as well as some plastics. That just, it causes my body to swell, so that could be a factor in what happened. We'll never know because I don't have the eardrums anymore, so it doesn't matter on that aspect. But as you can see here, you've got your eardrum, and you've got your middle ear. They place a tube through your eardrum, basically, that is supposed to drain the liquid behind it. Most ear infections happen in this section right here, and they drain out of their own accord without much damage most of the time. Unfortunately, there are some of us that are severely affected by it, and I was one of them. But I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that it educates you a little bit. We will go over a lot more stuff in the future. But yeah, I hope to see you guys back here. Again, if you guys liked the video, make sure you give it a like. And if you have any comments, you can ask in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can ask them. I'm a little bit tired, so this video is kind of like not very coherent. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and you can share the video if you wish. I will catch you guys in the next one, maybe next week, and if not, then it'll be in 2 weeks. Take care, guys. Bye.